Anna Maria from Diary of a Goat Lass here. Today's episode, we're cooking goat. Alrighty, what it is we're cooking today comes courtesy of one of our favorite books, Wings and Things. Now, granted, it's not exactly wings we're cooking, but there's definitely a lot of things in that sink. We're cooking goat ribs, along with any sections of the spine we have. Now, what we're making today, it's pretty much it's a classic goat dish. It's kind of a Moroccan curry sort of thing. It is Moroccan spiced chicken wings, but as you can see, I've made a few augmentations here. Right now, to start with, I've got about three medium-sized onions, about that big. Just chopped up, roughly chopped, doesn't have to be fancy because we're strewing this in between the ribs. Now, really fast, if you've got an onion that has any green in it, just whack it out, but I usually whack out the root just on principle. It's kind of ornery, kind of tough and ornery, yeah, see, even that's kind of green, not very pleasant, not good to eat. There will be augmentations throughout this recipe compared to the book, but that's because, who was it who said that? Do the best what you can with what you got where you are. Was that, Theodore Roosevelt? Yeah, he said that. But yeah, as I said, you don't have to be fussy with that. One of the augmentations so far is the addition of fresh ginger instead of dried ginger. I mean, we got enough of it. May as well. Anyway, we're just going to chunk this into... actually, no, that's for the spice bowl, so we'll leave that alone. Anyway, the ginger, same thing. Just go bisect like that and then just go into a couple of rough pieces, because I don't like small bits of ginger or anything, and gets caught in your teeth, and it's really pungent stuff. Anyway, as for what the recipe says, well, it's upside down for you guys. You probably won't be able to read it. Unless you're good at reading subtitles, I doubt it. We need orange juice, which I have here to the tune of just over 2 cups. Just Tetra Pak form, doesn't have to be anything fancy. For heaven's sake, don't go ape thinking you have to use fresh squeeze. That's a waste to me. I mean, we're cooking this for like 4 hours, so just use it. Just use it. Okay, next we have 2 tablespoons of cumin. Nice fragrant stuff. Don't drop the cup in there. 1 tablespoon plain old table salt. Doesn't bite. About half a teaspoon of fresh ground black pepper. You got one of these. I know you do. Somewhere. Use it. About 2 tablespoons of homemade curry powder. I mean, if you buy curry powder, it's not the end of the world, but we make homemade just because some people in our house can't stand garlic. About 1 tablespoon of turmeric. Can't make that at home yourself. Technically you could, but I don't know how you would. And about a teaspoon and a half of good old cinnamon. Alright. Alrighty, we've got this mixed up. Nice, very good. Yep, that's good. Alright, the only thing that I feel that this could probably benefit from would be a little bit of chemical heat. Now, I know some people would probably like cayenne pepper, but to me that's too much of an American flavor, like, you know, Cajun barbecue kind of thing. Believe it or not, for something like that, you'd be better off adding paprika, but me personally, I like just plain old red pepper flake because they don't bite. Well, they do, but in a good way. And this is the spice drawer from hell. Seriously, you cannot find anything in here. This is why you store spices in a cabinet, not in a drawer, because this is the drawer of annoyed people. Nope, screw it. There, done. Okay, for red pepper flake, I almost never measure. We're just gonna tap in, about a teaspoon. You don't really want much more than that. Because if you do, you'll be sorry. Okay, I'm gonna say right up front, I know that some of you out there are probably thinking, orange juice gets bitter when you cook it. Aren't you gonna add some sugar? No, this is what I'm gonna add. If I can find it. There we go. Stevia, no bitter. It's bottled from a larger container. We just put it in these old vitamin droppers. For that much, I'm figuring probably 1, 2 drops. This is a strong juju, kids. Other finger. Much better. 2 drops, that's all you need. Alright, now, come this way. You may take a look at my lovely, beautiful handiwork from this morning. Goat ribs. If you've watched a previous video, you'll recognize these as being from my Billy, who had to meet a rather untimely demise. I still feel bad about it, but at least we gave him a quick, clean death. So, now, fun fact. If you recognize this on a beef would be a rib chop. Down here, on a pig, this would be baby back ribs. And this ungainly thing, actually, this ironically is the tenderloin here. On the other side, we got the rest of the loin. Now, these all have bones in them of one sort or another, so these are all slow cooking type of meat because all the connective tissue in that. Now, if you've watched any other sort of cooking shows and they talk about connective tissue, they're really talking about collagen, which when cooked turns into gelatin when cooked long and low with heat and moisture. Okay, so all of this stuff, you're looking at about if we get this in the oven by 2, it'll be ready by 5, which isn't bad. Alright, I'm just going to get a roaster ready. Anybody who ever saw these had an awesome childhood. Seriously, there's nothing better than these for anything. Although, granted, if you've got glass cookware, that's also good. Now, come over here, you guys. Here. You get over there behind me, and I'll show you guys how to load this thing. Now, believe it or not, there is a science to loading a roaster. You don't just chunk everything in there willy-nilly, because guess what? You'll never get it all in. Alright. Now, the reason I haven't done anything with the onion yet is because this is what the onion is going to be for. Once we've got one layer of meat in here, we're going to put a layer of onion in. Out of the way, knife. Okay. Now, don't be afraid to toss this with some extra salt, okay? Just to try and help pull some flavor and moisture out of the onion. Although, you know, it's really funny. I really hate that phrase where you put a sprinkle of salt on and it's going to rip all the moisture out of it, okay? That kind of a pickling process, believe it or not, takes time, okay? Like when people talk about, oh, put it in the pan to pull some moisture out of it. Doesn't work that fast. Osmotic reactions don't work that fast. I'll sprinkle a little bit of garlic in, ginger, fresh ginger root in here. Alright, that's that. The last pieces to go on are the big guys here because they've got some of the larger pieces of connective tissue, but they're also the flattest. So that means, well, it's flat. There we go. And since we've got onion in between, smushed in the layers, that means everybody is going to get some nice flavor. The last of the onion can go on here. That goes in the sink. Try and keep everything clean. Speaking of clean, wash those goatee hands. Warm water, lots of soap, always. Before you go touch anything else. Your little brother, your dog, or your mother. Wash these goatee hands. Now granted, goat is not known for carrying any sort of bacteria, certainly not like salmonella on a chicken, but never hurts to be safe. Alright, this is ready. So we're going to grind just a little bit more pepper on, simply because I like it. There we go. Right, there's one other thing we're going to do with it. With this, we're going to add some plain old cornstarch to it, and you also need to add some olive oil here to help carry some of the fat-soluble flavors into the meat. But before we do that, because that's an oil, that's water, we're going to add our cornstarch, okay? Now this is cold, so it will mix quite quickly. But that's also why we got the whisk. And we're looking at, for that much, about a tablespoon of cornstarch. Because we don't want this to turn into like a not-so-gravy sort of thing. We just want this to have a little bit of a bit of a weight. So like if you serve this over rice or pasta or couscous or whatever, I mean, it'd certainly be traditional to cook up couscous, but nobody in my house can eat pasta. There. You're looking at about a quarter cup of olive oil. Nothing crazy. Doesn't have to be super uber fancy or anything. Just enough so that we got some nice oil in there. Because goat, it's a lean meat. It's a very red meat, but it's lean. So you kind of have to treat it a little bit like how you do modern day pork that you get from the grocery store. Later cooking adventures I will definitely take advantage of one aspect of osmotic pressure, brining. And later on, probably even smoking. So anyway, now that we've got this, just pour it on. Oh yeah, there we go. And that's it, you're done. Give it a little scooch around just to try and help distribute some of the juice so that everything gets in where it should. Stick a lid on it. Park this in the fridge for 2 hours. Then park it in a 350 degree oven for about 4 hours. Anyway, we will definitely come back to things later on. Alrighty, 2 o'clock, time to park this in the oven, and somebody didn't rearrange the racks. Namely me. Don't ever grab these with your bare hands, kids. It's 350 degrees in here. That hurts. Alright. Now you get it in the oven. 350 degrees, 4 hours. After that, lip smacking goodness time. After 2 hours, you'll want to get in there with a pair of tongs, put the stuff that's on top underneath, so that stuff that was on top and getting nice dry and toasty and crispy can get underneath and soak up some of that nice tasty juice. So, I guess I got 2 hours to kill. And of course, what delicious meaty meal would be complete without at least one side dish? Now, as I said before, I'm not a rice or quinoa person, but acorn squash do quite nicely. That's one end. That's a heftier end. We'll wait for that. You there. Try to make sure to get the tags off. That's not tasty. That's not tasty to eat. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Just want to snip off at least a little bit of the end because it just, well, makes things easier to work with. Those have been washed. Besides, especially when you whack a pad off there, use the ribs as a guide. Slice right in. Flip it around. And again, I should. Ta-da! I know some people like scraping in with a set of clean fingers. Me, not so much. So just scrape the contents of one into the other, and scrape everything. Give it to the chickens. Or unless you really want to, you can take the time to clean the guck off of these and roast them up. They're like eating pumpkin seeds. They're quite tasty. But we don't have time for that today. Yeah, no points for me. There, fixed you. You didn't really want to watch me continue scraping squash guts, did you? No, I didn't think so. But hey, gotta love that time folding trick. Not only works on TV, works on the internet too. Anyway, the way you prep these up, I like just plain roasting. Good scratch of salt. Himalayan, of course. As what color it is, I really don't care. But you want a good bit of salt because guess what? This is what's flavoring all the squash meat. There we go. And obviously don't worry about doing the other side because that's the skin. Who eats it? I should think that goes without saying. Now, if you're a real squash connoisseur, you could go with scratching a nutmeg on this because for some reason squash and nutmeg really like each other. But we're not going that far today. Whew, I just about inhaled some of that stuff. Strong juju when it's fresh ground. Upside down so that whatever fluid does come out of these goes onto the paper instead of waterlogging our nice tasty squash meat. Okay, now there is only really one drawback I think to cooking these. And that's this. How do you get it to fit in there? Well, I'll show you how. And it's not by taking this out. Well, not completely anyway. We're going to build a hood. Oh, gosh, check that out. Nice. Nice roast goat. Nice spicy goat. Okay. Now, you could go with a tin foil hood, you could go with a parchment paper hood, but for the sake of time, we're just going to go with tin foil. Don't freak out. There's not enough acid in there to do anything bad with this. Shiny side in helps keep the heat in. Do it quick so you don't burn your fingers like I just did. There we go. One more half. Don't worry about getting it crimped really tight. There we go. Now, just rearrange the racks. This one goes all the way up. Yeah, just about did that. You guys didn't see that. You didn't see that. I didn't just almost grab a roaster with a bare hand. There. You go there. Close the door so we don't lose all that heat. Now we can grab the squash without gloves. And there we go. Come back in 1 more hour and prepare to dine. Oh yeah, nice. Nice and squish. It's called squish until you squash it. And now the main attraction. There we go. Close that. Don't need all that heat wasted. And just be quick. Don't burn yourself. Watch the steam. There's going to be a lot of it. And holy Dinah, does this look good. Alright, just going to scoop that out of the way. And we will plate. I wish you guys could smell this. We really need to figure out that scratch and sniff tablet screen. Look at this. The meat just falls apart. It's like pulled pork in there. There we go. Yeah, one more little chunk there. And look at that. This chunk of loin, oh, it just falls apart. Holy cow. Alright. Now the fun bit. Watch this. Alright. Awesome. Just gonna give that an extra scratching of salt or take some sauce from here. And actually, you know what? We will do that. Yet. 1 ladle. There we go. And there you go, a nice traditional classic goat dish. Goat curry, or in this case it's Moroccan goat. Courtesy of Wings and Things recipe cookbook for chicken wings. This is Anna Maria from Diary of a Goat Lass. I hope you enjoyed. Good eating. And God bless.